à-bas-le-ciel.
Okay, guys, can you just say in the chat if you can hear Eisel through the microphone? Because I got you through a microphone. Can you guys just say, tell me if you can hear Eisel through the microphone? We can hear him, All right, I think they can hear you too. So what's going on?
Oh, best of times, worst of times, man. So look, I'll just start by saying, say something positive. I'm not mad at you, and I should be mad at you.
You should be mad? Why should you be mad at me?
Yeah, totally, man. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Let's talk about it. Why should you be mad at me?
Okay. You've done some things lately that have actually had negative impacts on my life. And, I assumed, for one thing, I assumed you weren't actually upset, and we would talk about it at some point, so I didn't have a reason to get upset. And I assumed you would, help me out in the practical sense of answering questions. Before, when I was just interested in figuring out, did you actually talk to my ex-wife or not? That's just a conversation. That's not asking you to help me. But it's I assumed you talked to me email or now on Younow that we'd figure out whether it was a catfish or not.
All right. Let's just stick with that topic real quick. If it's not your ex-wife, Eisel, listen. If it's not your ex-wife, who can you think of that filed the privacy complaints and then somehow got my home phone number and called my house? Who do you think it was if it's not your ex-wife?
Cheetah.
Or your wife, or whatever it is.
Cheetah, based on the information I have today, I believe it is my ex-wife. But based on the information I had the first day I found out about it, I didn't know. I've talked to other people who I'm not going to name who confirm her identity. Now, do I know for a fact that the person who phoned you was my ex-wife? Legally, I know that? No. But I've confirmed that my ex-wife has contacted other YouTubers, and I suspect she's the person who's contacted Durian Runner even. So,
why would she be doing that?
It's just, look, I encourage you to talk about, meaningful drama and not meaningless drama. And basically, to be honest...
I talk about what gets views. It doesn't matter if it's meaningful or not. I just talk about what gets the views.
Yeah, but look...
I'm running a business here.
Right, but there's a difference between truth and fiction. That's all I got to say to you, man. But...
Well, there's a difference between fiction and speculation, too.
Yeah, but, too, you can be honest with it. You can say there's a difference between something coming from me and something coming from an unknown source or something coming from somebody who could be a catfish. Just being honest about how much you know. And that's what TMZ does, and that's what everybody else does in the game too. So, not being unreasonable. And you got competition. You got guys like Joe Vegan who operate by a different set of rules, and there are things he'll do and things he won't do. And he has
we're not going to talk about what Joe Vegan does or doesn't do. I do what I do. I don't really concern myself with what Joe Vegan does or doesn't do. I don't play by his rules. I don't play by your rules. I don't play by Pizzino's rules. I don't play by Mojo's rules. I play by fucking Vegan Cheetah's rules, and that's just how it goes.
You're competitive.
Sorry.
You do care what your competition is doing. Of course you do. No one said. I didn't say you play by his rules. I just said it's an interesting comparison because you have competition. And I know you. You're a competitive guy. You're going to be intensely concerned about interesting what your competition is doing and how they're doing it. Of course you are. Of course you are.
So sure, I have some competition, but you said that you should be mad at me. Let's keep it on topic. So why should you be mad at me?
I think for anyone who's been my friend, you have been. You're not Durian Rider. Durian Rider was never my friend. If Durian Rider, hates me or does something dishonorable to me, I can't say he owes me anything. But in the past, you and I really have been friends. So the fact that you just wouldn't talk to me at all about something where look, I'm talking to my lawyer. This has implications for my real life problems. And I just have a casual conversation with you, do we think this was really my ex-wife or not? Yeah, of course, that's the thing.
Well, it's kind of going back to, Eisel, listen, I hear what you're saying, but it's kind of going back to the Mojo thing, that's kind of what your argument is for Mojo, that, we were kind of cool with Mojo and we're all on the same team, so, Vegan Cheetah's a fucking asshole and he's,
That's not my perspective on the Mojo thing at all. I don't feel that way about Mojo, and that's not my reasoning. And I didn't say you were a fucking asshole or anything like that, but I didn't. No, and I don't think you should treat Mojo better or worse, whether or not he's your friend or whether or not he's I don't. I think Mojo deserves the same basic treatment as any other human being who I don't even know. I think Mojo deserves the same treatment as Durian Rider. But I think it's completely wrong to call Durian Rider a pedophile for the same reason it's morally wrong to call me a pedophile. Like, I believe in equal treatment and equal human rights, and that's true. No, I don't feel that way about Mojo, and I don't feel you betrayed Mojo or betrayed a friendship to Mojo. And I don't even think, I've said this to you before, but I didn't think you should censor that broadcast in the sense I think you should have said nothing about Mojo. I just think you should have been more realistic about it. Like, because it's a different thing to look.
Well, like I said in the email, Isel, if I need editors, I'll let you know.
Yeah, but dude,
If I need editors on on the content I'm going to publish, I'll let you know. I will.
It's not.
I mean that sincerely.
Ridiculous. I know, but this is a ridiculous comparison. It's not about it. It's, we all do.
Well, you're saying as my friend, you're saying I would have thought that maybe you would have talked to me first and, told me what's going on, or maybe not,
No, not even. I thought you would have talked to me afterward. Like, Cheetah, you did what you did to me, and then you refused.
I didn't do anything to you, Isel. I didn't do anything to you.
Okay, so Cheetah, you think, so I don't even know what your source was because you never said. You said I was involved with 2 different women simultaneously, and therefore I'm a misogynist. That's what you said in the video about me. Now,
I said the speculation is that you're a misogynist. I'm just going by what people are...
No, you did. Okay, dude?
I did. Well, find the quote exactly. Find the quote exactly, but...
Dude, thing one is, even if it were true that I was dating 2 women at the same time, that doesn't make me a misogynist, and it's ridiculous.
You know that I don't care if you're a misogynist or not? Like, I actually don't care. Like, we could still be cool if you're a misogynist or not a misogynist. You know that, right?
Whether or not, if I was dating 2 women at the same time, we could be cool. You wouldn't be shocked by that. What the hell would you care? You're going to judge me? If I have 2 girlfriends at the same time, like, who's going to freak out about it? Not the fucking Catholic school teacher league. It's ridiculous, this kind of sex-negative attitude. But second, your sources on that story, because I've now asked around, and I figure they must have been either catfish or just complete vapor, or complete nonsense. So again, I don't know, and I don't need to know what the background was for that story. Now, dude, in terms of old media, new media, nobody's talking about being an editor, but it's about following up what you do afterwards. When you run a story that's false, whether in a newspaper or anything else, then afterwards you say, oh, it turns out to be false. And you kind of did that with Mojo anyway. I remember we did a follow-up video where said, look, guys, this is the deal. And old media does that. Old media, new media, whatever. It's not a question of censoring. If a newspaper publishes a story about someone that turns out to be false, and then that person writes into the newspaper and says, look, you slandered me, or this is wrong, or this is incorrect, the newspaper follows up. And TMZ follows up. Everyone follows up. And you got to follow up. And it has nothing to do with being my friend. It really has nothing. It does not mean Mojo's friend. Mojo may be a compressor. I'm not his friend. I don't know the guy. I don't know him like that.
So if you don't know him like that, he's not your friend, you don't give a fuck about Mojo, do you really think it was appropriate for you to upload those statements against me the way you did? I mean, do you really think that was appropriate, considering that you didn't give a fuck about Mojo, and now you're saying, I consider you a friend? I mean, do you think it was appropriate for you to do what you did, like, on that one video? Do you think that was appropriate?
Dude, it's all 3 videos. It's Mojo, it's Sorsha, and it's Durian Rider. All of you guys overlook the fact that I defended Durian Rider against you, Cheetah.
Do you really think do you think that's appropriate? Do you?
Yes. For me, the principle of the thing is, I do not want you to call me a pedophile, but I also do not want you to call my worst enemy a pedophile. That's human rights. That's real politics.
I'll call who I want to call a pedophile. Believe that.
Check it out.
He's completely irrelevant, and I think he's a sexual predator, quite possibly a pedophile, and I think he has HIV and he's spreading it in Thailand. So you guys know who I'm talking about, but we're not going to mention his name on this channel anymore.
Fucking strong words there, shit cunt.
Then, dude, you'll have to...
I will.
You tell me right now. So, like it's, this shit that also, Sorsha's not my friend. We've never been friends.
Who, Sorsha?
We're not. Sorsha and I are not friends.
Yeah.
We've never been friends.
Yeah.
I just say, but also, when I defended Sorsha, obviously that's not because she's my friend. It's just the principle of the thing, right? So, dude, yeah, for me, whether it's Mojo, Durian Rider, or Sorsha, I want to talk about what's right and what's wrong, what's responsible and what's irresponsible.
Right, but then with Sorsha, we even talked about this, but you had said that I was wrong in calling Sorsha a white supremacist when you could actually go to her YouTube channel and she has said that about herself, which you said you didn't know about.
Right.
And listen, when I said I will call who I want to call a pedophile, like if I truly thought somebody would, and I had source on that, I would come out with that and be like, look, this is what people are saying. Like, I'm not saying like I would just slander somebody randomly. I've actually never called, I don't think I've ever called Darian Ryder a pedophile in my life. I mean, let's be real here though, Iso. You said you got a quote of me saying Darian Ryder's a pedophile. Do you?
I think he's a sexual predator, quite possibly a pedophile, and I think he has HIV and he's spreading it in Thailand. So you guys know who I'm talking about, but we're not going to mention his name on this channel.
That is.
Do you have a quote of that? No, you don't. Chuck wants to ask you a question. Chuck wants to ask you, why are you willing to defend his enemy? I don't know what Chuck means by that. I don't know if we're talking about, who are we talking about here, Chuck? Chuck, you need to be a little bit more direct. So...
But I'll answer Chuck's question, man. That is the principle of the thing. Either freedom of speech is for everybody or it's for nobody. Either human dignity is for everybody or it's for nobody. And look, what Darian Ryder did to you was immoral and bad, and that's why I posted, back about your channel deleted, blah, blah, blah. Because that's the right thing to do. That's the right question to ask. But if somebody else turns around and does it to somebody, if somebody who's my friend does it to somebody, then it's still wrong. No matter whose friend you are or which side you're on. It's really about the principle of the thing.
Well, I guess that would be the difference between you and me. You seem to be a man that at least tries to portray the idea that you live out your principles no matter what. I am willing to flex on principles if it seems outrageous. You know what I'm saying? Like you, for one, have described yourself as somebody who, if you're at a bus station and all they have is non-vegan cookies to eat, you won't eat it and you'll go 14 hours starving. I'm not that guy. So there's a difference there.
I know, and by the way, I've done that after doing like 115 kilometers on a bike in the tropics.
That's great. That's great, but does that, principles it doesn't always serve your best interest, your self-interest. It doesn't always serve you well. I mean, that, in my personal opinion.
À-bas-le-ciel.